Hello friends, welcome to SQL Server tutorial. In this sub-series, we are talking about transaction isolation level and how it occurs shared and exclusive locks. In the last video, we learned about the read committed transaction level, which is the default in SQL Server. And in this video, we will talk about read uncommitted transaction isolation level. In read uncommitted transaction, we allow SQL Server to read the dirty rows. So you know the meaning of dirty row. In the last video itself, we saw it. When there is an update, old row, new row, and there is a transition in between during the update, and during this transition period, we will get dirty row. That means it's a half updated row we can state. Let's state updates 4 columns, and when all 4 columns are updated completely, then we can state that a particular row as committed. In between, the row will be in the dirty state. With the read uncommitted transaction, we allow SQL Server to read the dirty rows. By default, SQL Server goes with the read committed transaction isolation, right? That means here we need to change that default using the read uncommitted transaction isolation. This means the read will proceed with uncommitted rows. This means the read will proceed with the uncommitted rows. Let us explore this with an example. So we already have 2 sessions opened. This will be the SA account, and this is a Windows account, or even you can have 2 SA accounts. Now here if you see, by default SQL Server is in read committed transaction, right? Here we are changing that using the set transaction isolation level read uncommitted, right? So after that, we are starting the begin transaction. We are making the update. After that, we are committing the transaction in session 1. Finally, we set back the transaction isolation level to the default one. It means read committed. Here we are making it as a read uncommitted, performing the update within the transaction boundary. And finally, we are setting back the transaction isolation level to the default one. Right, in session 2, here in session 2, we are setting the transaction isolation level as read committed. Read uncommitted. After that, we are trying to read all 5 rows. And then we are setting the transaction isolation level as read committed. Now let's execute. So in connection 1, we are executing this. So there is one dirty row now. So if we execute only this, it will not work and it will get blocked because okay, anyhow, here it is uncommitted, right? Now let's execute this, and you can see the row get picked because we told that we told the transaction level as read uncommitted here. And here if you see, it get blocked because here we told that read uncommitted when making the select statement. So we are telling SQL Server that I am okay to select true even if it is not committed, read uncommitted, right? Here we are simply making the select star from student in this session, and it is blocked because by default SQL Server reads the committed transaction only. Now let's commit it and you can see the result, right? That's all here. So it will be useful when you are making the select statement and when you are keeping the isolation level as read uncommitted. You are aware that you maybe end up in reading the dirty rows, or you don't want to wait for any lock. So the read uncommitted will not wait for the locked row, it still reads it. It won't respect the lock. Alright, that's all here in this video. Thank you for watching. Bye.